Hello and welcome back to an art supply review video. Today we are going to be reviewing the Handmade Modern glitter markers. Handmade Modern is a Target imprint, so these are available at Target stores in the art supply section. Let's get started. So the first thing that I did was that I put them into an order that I liked, and I made swatches of them just to kind of see how they looked on my paper. The paper that I used was a random sketchbook. I'm not even sure that the sketchbook survived the massive overhaul of supplies that I've been doing over the past couple of weeks since I filmed this video. I actually filmed this, I think, on December 29th. It is, as of me recording this voiceover, it is January 24th, a Friday. Well over 3 weeks from the time that I filmed this, so I actually kind of don't remember what I originally wanted to say. So I'm making this up as I go. One thing that I can see myself doing on the screen right now is that I'm making a rainbow. Which is something that I tend to do a lot when I have a bunch of new colors that I want to try out. I do want to put them in a rainbow order just to kind of like see how they look together, how the colors go from one shade or one hue to another, just to kind of see what the rainbow looks like and how cohesive the rainbow is, and if there's anything like, oh, I really wish I had this color or this color, and everything. The reddish color, or the sunstone color, as I found out, is actually much more orange than it is red. But I like it. I think it came out pretty well, or it shows up pretty well. One of the things about these markers is once I was done with my rainbow, I didn't have any other idea for what I wanted to do with them. They just kind of, they're super shiny, super shiny. And I, as much as I liked the shininess of it, I needed some help with coming up with other ideas. So I got into my cup and I pulled out diadem. For those of you who don't know, a diadem is a circlet, usually made out of a precious metal like gold or silver, and it is what people of royalty will wear around their foreheads, either in a kind of in lieu of a crown, I guess. It's just a fancy little headpiece, or and not a oh, there's a word for this. What is that word? It's not inexpensive, because I'm pretty sure they're pretty expensive, but like, not as showy as a crown. A good example of diadems are actually the elves in the Lord of the Rings movies. Most of them are wearing diadems instead of crowns, except for Legolas's dad, whose name I can't remember at this moment. But yeah, he wears like a full-on crown, and then Galadriel wears like a fancy diadem. And Elrond has like a pretty simple one, at least in comparison to his elf brethren. So yeah, with a diadem, the idea that came to mind was, of course, just a princess. I'm not sure why elf didn't come to mind until after I finished this. But I was, again, quickly running out of ideas for it, and I wasn't feeling very inspired in with these markers. Like, even like the names of the markers weren't really sparking anything for me. Like, when I was doing my chalk marker video, the names the names of the markers themselves just instantly made ideas come to my head, and I had this vision in my head even before I even started with anything. But for this one, it's just like, I just didn't really feel inspired with these markers. I think a lot of it was like, I don't want to make a full illustration with these because these aren't made for full illustrations. These are very much so made for just like little accents here and there, or just little things to, make a little pop of shininess every so often. And I was trying to do a full illustration with them, and it just wasn't working out for me. Or the piece that I wound up doing. I wanted to do, I guess like the only thing that really came to mind was just having a princess looking at herself, admiring her diadem in the water below, and I wound up trying to color her dress with the silver, but these markers actually don't hold a lot of ink in them, and halfway through her dress, or not even halfway, but like maybe a quarter of the way through her dress, it almost entirely ran out of ink. So you can see a lot of streakiness in her dress, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Well, I'm not really happy with it. I like how sparkly it is, but again, they are not made for full illustrations. But I'm still not a huge fan. Not the best things in the world, but good for accents, not so good for full illustrations. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.